Hey y'all, it is time for another blind tasting. Husband chose a couple bottles from our collection, threw them in this box, poured out a sample for me, and we're gonna try and see if I can figure out what they are, see if they're worth it, and let you know if there's something you should be looking for. As always, starting on the left here, don't know why, it just feels right to me. Pun intended, I guess. Starting here on the left, it's definitely the darker of the two, but also the clearer of the two, if that makes any sense. There's almost a touch of cloudiness. Maybe it's just the angle. Let's see. First glance, really nice dark amber color. And on the nose, I'm getting dried fruit like cherries and raisins. Some nice oak and tannins. On the palate, that one has an overwhelming like almond flavor, like marzipan, almond brittle. There's some sweetness. Definitely those dried fruits come through as well. And there's a lot of depth to it. I'm kind of curious to return to this one and see if anything else develops as it sits out. On the nose, this one is very similar to the first one I just tried. I feel like there's more spice in this one, a little more of those baking spices. There is some dried fruit, but not as much. It has a little more oakiness than anything. There is like a touch of spearmint at the end as well. The flavor on this one is drastically different than the first pour, and I think it's drastically different than the nose. It's sharper. I think it's a higher proof. I definitely get some of those minty notes, and it feels to me more like a rye or a high rye. But in a weird way, they're almost like the same color but different tones. So there's a lot of similarities. Like this one is a lot more bourbon-esque, honey, sweet, oak, vanilla, while this one is fruit, sharpness, mintiness, spice. So out of these two, I think that I would probably pay this a similar amount. They're both very nice pours. I think that I can get behind a pour of both of these, but I think I like this a little bit more today. My palate might be a little bit dried out, if that's what this is, but they're both really nice. So I guess I'll find out there. Left one, which is my personal favorite. Coy Hill, of course, Jack Daniels, really nice. And Jack Daniels Single Barrel Proof Rye. Both of these are ones I really enjoy. Coy Hill is the one that I prefer over the two, but just by that much. It is, of course, harder to find, while the Single Barrel Proof Rye is pretty readily available now in those higher proof ranges. It's usually like 45 or so, maybe 65, depending on where you're at. And honestly, like, I think Coy Hill's MSRP is just slightly over this one, but you're not going to find it for that. It's closer to like the multiple hundreds of dollars. Both delicious pours, highly recommend on both fronts. It just kind of depends on what mood you're in that day. So make sure you subscribe, comment down below, like this video, and tell me what you want to see next. Cheers.